Welcome to another one-up guided tour. Look at puzzle 277, that 9x9 that was released this very day. And let's go ahead and get started. I talked about dividing this into quarters, and very quickly you can do that. The northeast is probably where I'd start, southwest is probably where I'd finish. Most importantly is to look at your unbroken lines, and then your segmented lines. So segments and unsegmented. And you got 1, 2, 3. Is that really it? 1, 2, 3 unsegmented lines. So that's only 3 9s, but you have 4 8s, and then you'll end up with 5 7s. That might be useful, but pay attention that your segmented lines will end up solving together separately, and that's very useful. Let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to start up here where we said we would start. There's a 2 and there's a 3. This has to be a 1 and a 2 to fill out that segment. Moving across, these are tandem segments, C9 and C1 solved together, so we know to look there. And before we move forward into these, because we're short a few digits, let's just stop and look at this line here. That's a 1 or a 2, and that's a 1 or a 2 in C2. And that means this C's 1, 2, and 4, and has to be a 3. And this has to be a 4, and this has to be a 5. And then we're left with that same 1, 2 pair, as well as an 8, 9 pair that we're not going to do anything with right now. But I do want to go ahead and turn and look at our 3, because we need a place for that 9, and it can't fit in a 7 length or a 5 length or an 8 length or a 4 length, so that 9 is here. And obviously the 8 length is the only place left for an 8, and so there is that. And also moving up here, and that's a 1, and that's going to be a 3, that's going to be a 2, and that's going to be a 1. So those are taken care of, and that's a 4, and that's a 2. Let's see, that 9 gave us the 8 down there. We don't want to forget that. And let's see, what are we left with? Not enough there to go with. Let's move on. This C's 1, 2, 3, and 5, so it's got to be our 4. And let's move on over here. We have some 3s to be done. There's a lot of 3s. In this little row, we only have one place left for a 3. Sweeping them down, we see that this is the last place for a 3. And between these two, we'll probably get there by finishing our 9, or at least pigeonholing it. This has to be a 2 now. Just going to grab that and go back. This has got to be our 3, because this is a 3 limit, and C's 1 and 2. And this has got to be our 4 now. This is going to be a 5 now. We're left with 6, 7, and 9. Not really resolvable, but this 4 is going to give us some play in the southeast. And there's a 1, there's a 3. We can finish this one over here. And now we need a 3 somewhere in this column. How about there? And this is something they like to do in one-up puzzles. They'll put pairs on the far edges, and you'll have to remember that they're there by scanning. So there's a 1, 2, and there's a 1, 2. And we know they're a pair, and we can't resolve them yet. But it means you can't have a 1 here. So that's useful. And let's see. Oh, we placed that 4 here, and that had effects upstream. There's a 5, and there's a 4. And let's see, what else does that give us? I think it gives us more in this C8. So let's take a look. Remember, we have that 1, 2 pair here. So this can't have 1 or 2, or 3, 4, 5, or 6. So that is our 7. And that's useful. And we're left with 1, 2, or 6. That one there's our 6. That's our 2. That's our 1. And I believe we have a little 1, 2 chain we get to play with for a minute. All the way across. Yeah, it goes on for a little bit. 2. There's a 1. There's a 2. There's a 1. And that's about it. We'll do that now. Let's see. We need 4, 6, and 7. Well, that one's our 6. Now we need 4 and 7. I don't see that resolving right this second. That's all right. What about over here? We need 5, 8, and 9. Well, that one's our 9. And then down here we have a 7. And if that's our 7, then this is our 7 here. And this is our 4 here. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing 5, 8, and 9. That is the 5. That is the 8. That is the 9. We get a 4 over there. And this one's missing 5 and 6. That means this one's the 5. And I think our last is the 8. It's a fine little puzzle. I don't think there is no escalated logic. Nothing really complicated. Just a lot of if you can see tandem segments and how they solve together, like those columns and a few of the rows. It saves a lot of time. I'm sure something could have been done with rare digits on 9s and 8s, but I'm also sure it would take longer than just going straight through the puzzle. Let's see, what else do I have? That's it. If this helps, that's fantastic. Please let me know. But if there are any questions, comment and I'll try and respond. And otherwise, if you liked it, like, comment, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff. Thanks, and have a good night.